Bang! Welcome back to Buddy and the Boss. And today I just want to answer a few questions. Some people have been asking me when I was evicted on the streets, they're asking, like, um, how did you come up with the idea to make all this money? How did you come up with the ideas and all that sort of stuff? So I'm going to go back into the past a little bit, and we'll probably make this like a 15-20 minute video. Keep it as short as I can. So people have been asking me, like, okay, so when you got evicted and all that sort of stuff, and you show some things on the YouTube back in my very beginnings, where I'm towing a car and I'm bird nesting and all that sort of stuff. Well, the idea came actually just from what I just extended on an idea that I was doing at my house before I was illegally evicted by the Edmonton Police. And I had 1 hour to leave that house. So anyway, I went into survival mode, really, and I figured I didn't have a house and all I had was a car, and I was driving it without a license because I wouldn't separate with my dog and I was forced to live in it. Hence, when they did catch up with me after 44 charges of driving without a license, I only got 6 weeks in jail because the judge obviously seen that the police made us homeless. So all we had was a car, and the car was well known in Cairns, and so we had to avoid police and try and make money while sleeping in the car. So uh, what happened, let me just abbreviate. Like, I was nearly giving up hope at one stage. You can see me in the car in my very first videos where I'm on the railway lines, and I've pretty much given up. But a couple of days before, I was driving past a guy outside his house with his vehicle parked in there, and he was doing air conditioners, air cons. So I pulled up beside him and I asked him if he had anyone that was scrapping his air cons, taking them apart, asking him, and sorry, I'm just reading the screen here. And recycling them and getting money for the copper, brass, and aluminium. So what I did is I never had a place to actually do it. So we were doing it in sports fields and all that. We were going along to houses collecting old air cons and mag wheels and stuff like that, and grinding them apart, then taking them in and making money, and pretty good money, I must say. Until later on, where you see I got into a production mode. I obviously needed more money to pay for these lawyers to fight these corrupt police. So I was driving past this guy's house one day, and I asked him if he had any one scrapping his machines. And I said, I bet you I can beat his deal if you want to do a deal. And he asked me what my offer was, and I offered him 50% of everything after it was scrapped. So basically, he took that contract, and you'll see in some of my other videos where you got the contractors pulling up at a house. Now, the reason they did that is because we had nowhere to scrap the machines, and I wanted to be professional. So how I thought, I looked for a real estate sign that was leasing the place, or whatever it was, had a sign out the front. So I took the sign down, and it was a weekend when they were delivering it, so that was perfect because no one's from the real estate's gonna go to the house on a weekend. And the guys dropped off the first couple of machines, um, and with my other contractor, I met a bloke. I won't mention his name here, but he became a very good friend, and he knew my boss eventually. But I met this guy when I was going door to door previous, and I actually employed him to be my driver at $50 an hour. Um, and the company that took on my contract would give me like whatever we could load up in the truck. So maybe a grand, maybe 2 grand's worth of machines. That's what they wanted out of it. And obviously we'd make our money as well. So I found an abandoned place, which has been boarded up for ages. You'll see that in my video. Pardon me. And I accessed that, and I would get my driver to go down. We would load up all the machines. We would drive them back to the place that I found. It was an old boarded up place, and I ran the business from there. And that was $20,000 a month business. But as you can see, it was hard living like that on my YouTube channel. You can see the videos where the police are trying to get in. Well, not, they've taken out the power of this place, and they did everything they could to get me out of there. And eventually, I did. I had to, so I finished that business up because it wasn't viable. I had nowhere to live again. They got the place. They took my car. They took pretty much everything that I had left. So it was just me and the dog, and we were literally on the streets. So the next day, I went into a community centre, and it's sort of fenced off. This is all in Cairns. I think it was Bentley Park Community Centre, and out the back there, me and him would sleep. And in the morning, I woke up and I thought, fuck, we need some money. So again, I thought of scrapping, but I thought we've got no car to get the metal to the weigh station. So I thought for a while, and then it came to me, right, a car. We'll just get a taxi. But then we had to get all the product together. So what I would do in the morning is I would get up and knock door to door from 7 o'clock till about, I don't know, 11. I had enough money. But sometimes I go all day. But we'd knock on the doors, we'd ask people for their old car batteries, any scrap metal like that, and we'd say, look, if we can just put it up at the front of the fence for now, and we'll be along in the afternoon to pick it all up. And that just went well. So I'd get a taxi to take all the scrap metal down to the scrap metal shop there, and we would roll out with hundreds of dollars in our pocket every single day without fail. Um, that gave me an idea because I came across one guy that said, can you get rid of a car for me? So I rang Richie up and I said, Richie, how much for cars? Do you take cars? He goes, yep. And I said, how much for cars? And he goes, $4.90 with a cat. So that means a complete car. And when I say cat, I mean catalytic converter. All right. So I thought $490 for one car, and it can be in any condition as long as it's all complete. That's it. Too easy, I thought. That's the big money. So I went down to Kmart and I got one of those little, uh, notepad books, just a white one. I got one of those name tag things, and I got some stickers, the word stickers and the number stickers. And I just put JJ's auto scrap 04, put my phone number up there, and I just went knocked on doors, and I just would say, look, what are you doing with that car? Do you want that removed? If you want it removed, I've just started up a new business, and we can get that removed today for you. And the people were just happy with that, because people usually have to pay the tow truck to get rid of their shit car. But they don't know that they're getting paid for it. Unless you're scrapping, not a lot of people know you get paid for the cars. You fucked car. So what I did to do $68,000 per month, I'll be very clear, that is $68,000 per month while living on the streets with my dog here, Buddy, just living randomly anywhere. We would get up every morning and go door to door, up every street looking for cars. We would knock on every door, and those doors that didn't answer, I'd write down in a notepad and I'd hit it back on a weekend or whatever. I would assess if the people were working, or I'd ask their neighbours, do you know when they'll be back? All these things so I don't miss one single car. And I would go up every single street. I would go into the ghettos and everything to get these cars. Tow trucks were charging me $80, right, in the Cairns area. So by the time I got the car down there, I got $410 profit per car. So I did 5 to 7 cars per day. That's what I ended up doing at the end of it. And I was making about $3,000 a day, but that paid for my $30,000 lawyer that I had to fight the police with to stay out of jail, because they forced me to live in the car because they probably got paid by the property developer, because I didn't have any notification to leave in a house that I was at for 2 years, and all the everything's all up and legit and everything like that. Power's been on for 2 years. I've been there 2 years. The owner, Richard, he's the one that gave me the property to live in, and he wanted to put it up for auction. But anyway, that's another story. So anyway, but that's what I was under. That's what was happening to me, and so I was, I was living homeless, and I just had to come up with an idea, and the scrapping's good and that, but everyone does it on a small basis. So what I started to do was just look like for bigger contracts and doing better deals, and that's the way you steal contracts off other people. You do it so you've got enough profit for yourself, but so no one else can margin in. And if you can offer something else to a business, do that as well. And your word of mouth will spread, and your business will just flourish because you're caring about the customer more than the money. So, getting back to the cars, after a while of just knocking on doors and that, I started handing people $100 notes because I was getting that much money. I'd cash out in hundreds. And I thought, well, I've got that much money. Why don't I just pay someone for the car and surprise them? And then I tell them if they can recommend someone else, or they have a friend that has a car, they get $100 straight out. And from there on, I didn't actually have to go up and down the streets, even though I did. Still, I didn't have to, because I was getting phone calls. Can you take this car? I got a friend. And a lot of cars came from the ghettos. I mean, let's face it, everyone in the ghetto needs money. I grew up in a ghetto, and there are always bomb cars there, and that was a no-brainer. And so $100 notes in the ghetto is a pretty big deal, and that's how I made that business work. The air conditioner business, that was, I had a bigger idea for that, but unfortunately that got stopped a couple of months into it. And mind you, while I'm doing all this, while I'm being legally evicted, had nowhere to go, no one to rely on, no one to depend on, no one to talk to, it was just every avenue. You can see by my YouTube video what I went through. And yes, everyone says, oh, you're on fucking crack, you're on ice. Yes, I fucking was, but guess what? I still made all that shit happen. I still made $68,000 a month legally. I still made 2 businesses run successfully while living in a car with a dog, uh, given no warning to leave your house after being out for 2 years. I lost tools and the whole house. I lost it. Lost the whole fucking lot because of these fucking corrupt police. But if that didn't happen, I'd still JJ's Polish, which was a pretty plateau idea, plateau business. Oh, good business. That's the one I started at my house with zero money. 14 minutes. We'll go 20. I'll tell you about that business real quick. How I started that up with no money. Now, I know I'm going back and forwards, but this video is about the way I made money while on the streets. Well, this one is before I went on the streets, and when I got out of jail, um, both my kids were talking to me at that time, but for a short time, my daughter stopped talking to me, but that's okay. Um, so anyway, they wanted me to get a job, and at that time, coronavirus was out, the coronavirus, and so I got out of jail just shocked, like what the fuck's going on? Right, well I can't work, obviously, and I'm living in this abandoned house, which I told you all that eventually I got a QVAS report, found Richard, and then I was a resident of that property. So that's how that came about. But anyway, getting back to the story. So COVID broke out. I'm sitting in this house, and all these fucking things you can and can't do. And I had no money, sitting on the couch, fresh out of jail. And I thought, okay, so I've read a lot of smart books thanks to my mentor, Richard Sutar in Western Australia, self-made millionaire property developer. If you ever see this video, thank you, Richard. Um, but out of all the smart books I've read, a couple of stories stood out, and then I came up with an idea. Well, I don't have the tools, but what if, because I'm a spray painter by trade, but what if I started a cut and polish business? No one likes doing that. I won't do the detailing, just a cut and polish, and I'll specialise in that, seeing as I work with paint and I'm good at what I do. So I took some pictures off the internet. I posted them onto Facebook of shiny cars and dull cars, before and after, I put a post up for half price cut and polish. First 10 callers, $150. Obviously, these people are contacting me through Messenger because it's Facebook. And so as the calls are coming through, I'm thinking, fuck, I haven't even got the equipment. What am I going to do? And then, well, the first customers rang and it just popped into my head. I said to the customer, I said, you can drop off your car between 7:30 and 9, and I'll take the car until 5 o'clock. If it's any later, 6 o'clock, I'll give you a ring or message you. And I said, but before you bring the car in, because it does take all day, uh, you will have to put a $50 deposit down to secure your date. And not one customer had a problem with that. Not one. They all put their $50 deposits in that night. Some were pending, obviously different banks. So I let 30 customers run through. I thought, fuck, 30 customers, 7 days a week, back to back, 8 days of 8 hours of cut and polishing every day is going to be hectic. So I took that month on, and but I had all the money in my account the next day, enough to buy all the equipment. And I was smart enough to not to book my first customer until 4 days after my idea when I put it onto Facebook. So I had 30 customers. I had money in the bank the next day. I went out and bought all the equipment, and I'm telling you, I bought good equipment. And I'm talking $100 buff pads. I'm talking this also what was I using? I wasn't using Freckle, not Fudge. What the fuck is that? It's a new brand out. Anyway, it's a good brand. $100 a bottle for cutters. Uh, anyway, we did that, and the customers were that happy with my work because what I would also do. Now, this is what I mean. If you're going to make a business and you want to do a little bit something different, personalize your business. Sell yourself. Sell your business. Sell your work. So what I would do is I would take before and after pictures of the client's car, which is nothing new. But what I would do is do the whole thing. So as soon as I mastered up, I would take photos, all that. It's all masked up. That's for insurance things as well, but masked up. Then I would attack the car, but I would do like a little film and tell the customer what I'm doing here, why I'm doing it, da da da. Just a quick overview. And I would package all that up. And then when the customer was ready to pick up their car, I would send all that to them and tell them their car's ready. And just as they were on their way, I would flick that last picture of the final shot where it would be in the paddock next to me, next to my house. I had a spare block, so I'll put it in the paddock, take pictures with the lights on, dim down, all sorts of things until I got the right shot, low, all different angles, and then I would send that through to them as well. So that business just got a good name and reputation. That's JJ's Cut and Polish, which no longer exists. And that's how I started that business successfully until I lost it and got wiped out by the Edmonton corrupt police, only to be made homeless and none of them motherfuckers being held accountable, still to this day. All right, so I hope that sums it up for everybody that was asking me questions on how I was doing businesses on the streets, making that much money. It was not a joke. You can have a look at my other videos, and I think some of my shorts have got me flashing all the cash. You can see some of the cars I've bought in there and stuff like that. So, but we were homeless and we couldn't get a house. It was just that way, and it still is. And that's why I haven't posted that video yet. I may or may not do it. Now I might do it, but that was just to show you the drone that I bought for my new business. There's the remote. It's the DJI Mini 4 Pro, and that's the one we were taking shots for the backdrops of shops and stuff like that. But now I think I'm just going to do prints and market it. Oh, that's a battery pack, by the way. That's the drone. And I will post that other video. Like I say in the other video, I've got all sorts of problems at the moment because this client fell through, but it's not just that. It's a whole bunch of different reasons. But we just ran out of data, so I won't be able to post this till tomorrow. We got lots of power, but we just ran out of data, and that's not a good thing. But yeah, so that's how I've started business. Now with this drone business, now you're wondering, well, I'm just nutting it out. I'm new to photography. I'm new to drones. I've had this for about a year now, but I've only fucked with it a few times. But this is what's got to make the money now, because I'm on the other side of the fucking hill. It's a long walk. I'm miles away from anything. I'm right in the bush. The only thing that makes any sense to me is to be very versatile, work my own hours, so I don't disappoint a boss, and that's why I don't have a job. If anyone asks, I cannot do one because it's too hectic living like this. And if you live like this, you would know. So if you've got any stupid comments, I'll probably read them and laugh at you. So that's about it. I'm trying to lose my anger management. I've got an anger management problem, so trying not to be angry. Doing things different ways. Alright, so that's the new business. That's what's happening. That's what I was using there, the drone. And we'll nut that out in the next couple of days. All my businesses, by the way, I've always started with no money because I've had no choice because they've been desperate situations. But it's made me fucking hell smart, and you watch exactly what I do with this business. I just got to crack that nut. I'll crack it. Just crack that nut. And once you're in there, you're in there. Just keep going at it. There's Buddy. Look at him there, sleeping away. Yeah, big boy. Boy, boy. All right. This is Buddy and the Boss, and I just want to say a big congratulations. Jesus Christ. Pardon me, let me get some milk here. Ah. Congratulations to my son and his missus as well for uh, making me a grandfather again. Thank you. Uh, Congratulations. So now I definitely have to get this business running. I really have, at the end of my life, a lot of mouth. Anyway, that doesn't matter. So anyway, I hope I answered everyone's questions. That's how I started businesses on the streets. That's why I just keep on going, because one day I'm just going to crack it. Just going to crack it. All right. Keep motivated. Keep moving on. Keep inspired. And never give up. This is Buddy and the Boss. And I'm out.